One of Donald Trump's favorite lies these days is that since returning to office back in January, he has ended 7 wars. 7 international conflicts between 2 different countries. He has ended them. And that's, of course, why he tells us he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Hell, he said during his absolutely humiliating appearance at the UN this week that he's ended 7 wars. One big problem, however, with his claim that he's ended 7 wars is that none of these wars have ended at all. In fact, almost every single one of them, in fact, I think it is every single one of them, has seen fighting up to and including this week. Even the folks that Donald Trump brought into the White House and said, we're going to sign a peace agreement, they never signed a peace agreement. So Trump got his photo op, he got his quick press briefing, he got to show them his wall of merch. But they didn't stop the fighting. The Bulwark this week actually came out with a really great article detailing the fact that all of these conflicts that Trump claims to have solved are in fact still raging. Let me read you this. The conflict between India and Pakistan, which the president said he stopped, is also still percolating. Last week, Prime Minister Narendra Modi publicly declared that India is not afraid of nuclear threats, underscoring his willingness to respond to Pakistani provocations with force. Reports of cross-border firing along the line of control have also persisted, and Pakistan has lodged repeated diplomatic protests. There's also renewed border clashes between Thailand and Cambodia. Last week, Thai security forces opened fire with rubber bullets and launched tear gas on Cambodian civilians protesting barrier construction near Prachan village. 28 people, including monks, were injured. The use of tear gas in war is, of course, considered a war crime. Then, of course, you have the Congo, right? In the past week, attacks by the Allied Democratic Forces once again terrorized villages in the Ituri province. Civilians were killed and families were displaced. The so-called Doha Declaration of Peace remains worthless on the ground. Trump has confused Armenia with Albania more than once, but he did bring the presidents of Armenia and Azerbaijan together in the Oval Office where they proclaimed they would work toward peace. But the signed treaty Trump once heralded hasn't materialized. A major obstacle continues to block the way forward, and mistrust between Baku and Yerevan remains deep. Even the dispute in Egypt over the Nile Dam between Egypt and Ethiopia. Ethiopia just began operations at the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam despite Egypt and Sudan's objections. Cairo has lodged new protest, arguing once again that Ethiopia's move threatens its water security and violates past understandings. Serbia and Kosovo. Earlier this month, the U.S. suspended high-level normalization talks, blaming provocative actions by Kosovo's caretaker government. Serbian-aligned factions still operate parallel institutions in the north, and NATO peacekeepers remain on the ground. All in all, Trump has ended nothing. This thing that he swears he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for isn't even a thing that's happened with any of these countries. And of course, we still have Russia attacking and killing people in Ukraine. We still have Israel and Palestine. The world is filled with conflicts right now. Trump has solved none of them. At this point, it seems like he hasn't even made progress in any of them. Yet he's still out there doing his little victory laps, throwing his pity party on social media, and in every interview he says, like, I don't get credit for it. There's a reason you don't get credit for it. That's the same reason I don't get credit for winning 5 Super Bowls. Because it didn't effing happen. Thanks for watching, everyone. You know, we're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.